Today I'm going to be doing something different. I'm not going to be making a terrarium inside with in my bug room, or making an enclosure for my mantids or my stick insects. My friend gave me this. It is an electric propagator, and if you look at this, there's no holes in it anywhere, unlike your normal propagator, so therefore this is a terrarium. But it is also an ideal size for making a filming area for my bugs. And to do this, I have to make a little garden inside here. And I've come outside to pick what I want to put in it out of my collection of various items. I've got numerous items like star moss and liverwort, a nice big box of tamarisk moss and thread moss, and numerous other mosses like bun moss, Christmas moss, fern moss, great fort moss. So I'm going to pick a bunch of things that I want to put on there for my filming area. I also found these today at a local supermarket, they're actually cyclamen, and they're not known for really terrariums, but they do like being moist, and I really like them. And as I can't find Photonia ever, I decided to use this as a good second. I've also got a bunch of other various plants that I've took out of the setups and areas that I might be utilising. Not all of them, but some of them. And some woods, like this one that I made. This is just a piece of wood picked up in the forest, soaked, baked, and then sanded down. And we ended up with something that looks a bit like driftwood, but it's free. And of course, substrate. Now this is what I call my forest floor substrate, which is cocoa fibre, compost, sphagnum moss. It's got some carbon in here, and it's also got leaf litter, which has been baked again in the oven and broken up once it's dry into tiny little pieces, and that'll keep the springtails and isopods nice and happy. And other than that, I've got lots of bits of wood that I've been soaking for several days now, with moss on them. So I'm going to pick out what I want, and then let's get started making it.
Hello, well, back inside I've picked all the plants and bits and pieces that I want, the mosses, etc, and the few rocks that I probably won't use, thinking about it now, and some nice bits of wood that I found and soaked. So here we go. I've just filled this up with the forest mix, as I mentioned probably 2 minutes ago for you. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to give it a bit of a spritz, but to be honest with you, it doesn't really need it. There's no drainage layer in this, for the simple reason I'm going to have to be watering it anyway, because as it's going to be a filming area for my bugs, I'm going to be lifting the top off quite a lot, so it's not going to keep the humidity in as much as a terrarium would. So I'll worry about spritzing it later. I'm just making this a bit more solid so it's easy to work with, so it's not like powder. That's the only reason I'm spritzing it. So I'm going to start this. I think I've had a look round, I played about a bit, put a bits of wood on here. The piece I wanted to use, which was this lovely piece, unfortunately is too big and it would take up too much of the garden, if you like. So we're going to sack that piece, and I'm going to use a few of these and a bit of bark that I found. They've all been cleaned, believe it or not, in clean water, rainwater actually, and should be ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do, I think, is build up a bit of a height on the back here with using the wood, and then putting the substrate behind it as like a little stepped forest barrier. Well, one of the first things I want to do is actually pop this cyclamen in so I can steal the substrate here for this bit. So I didn't want to use one that was flowering, but this is the one with the nicest foliage, so I'm going to use this one anyway. So just take a bit of that off there, loosen these roots a little bit, and then we're just going to pop this in the corner. We've got to remember that this has got a lid going on top, so I can't put it right in the corner. Let's bang a bit of this around it here, get that off the leaves, firm it in, of course, just as you would if you put it in the garden. And now I've got an idea where I can put this nice little branch. Now I'm going to put my little raised corner here. Remember, this is for filming, so I want it fairly natural and not just made up stuff. So we're going to have a little bit of a lump there, I think, and again we'll build it up here. So we got the steps. I'm getting substrate all over the moss, which is making it dirty. It doesn't matter, it'll come off when I spray it. But this gives us two levels. We've got the one up here, one down there, and then you got the third level here. Now, when I'm filming, my main thing I'm going to film is them eating. And crickets have this habit of escaping into the wilderness if they've got the option. So by giving this area here and introducing the crickets into here, or whatever other bug they're eating at the time, they shouldn't be able to get away too far, no matter what kind of plants or foliage I put in here. So I'm going to quickly plant this out. Oh, this is awesome. I just thought I'd show you this. It's pretty awesome. I found this like this. This is pretty much a tree on a stick. It's pretty awesome. So I may use that, I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up and show you. I'm going to stick this bitter cress in because I love the stuff. You probably know by now, as I've mentioned it in two first videos I did. So I'm just going to put that there, a bit of a firm down. And with this being a natural British plant, it'll be quite happy in here and do really well and spread. And most of this stuff is British. There's a tiny little fern that I'm going to pop in here, I think. Yep, and pop that in there. That should grow nicely. Now let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, yep, I'm having a bit of this. It's nice and wet, that. Look at that. And I'm going to stick that up here, I think, and let it fall down onto there. It's rather messy. I should have done all this outside, but unfortunately the sound I'm getting from my phone is pretty bad. So let's keep this up here. The beauty of this stuff is these bits that are too long, you just snip them off like so and stick them somewhere else, and they should root. I love this stuff. It's brilliant. Now, where's that going there now? There we go. We keep that over here like this, and there. That'll probably root there as well, which is awesome. I'll give it another squirt. As you see, it was quite wet. Every time you put a plant in, you should really give it a wet. And this is my wife's favourite, which I'm going to put in. These look like little palm trees, don't you think? Again, Morrison's. Brilliant. So I'm going to shove these here in each corner, mainly because I need the height for the top. Just make sure they're all nice and covered up there on the roots. Again, let's pop this one here I'm not really worried about plant placement. As I say, it's for filming. I want it to look okay, but it's not some kind of work of art that I'm attempting to create. I think I'm going to leave it at that for the plants and for the wood. I might, let's see how these look on here. Stones, which should give that elevated look. These are again out of the old filming area that I had, so it's still a bit dirty. It's just a bit of sandstone. I'll keep that there like that. Pop that around here, give that a clean. Okie dokie, it's not too bad. Now, once you've got to this point, I want to put some moss in, because moss is awesome. And I've got this tamarisk moss here, which has again been soaked. It's brilliant stuff. You can buy this online, or if you're lucky like me, you have woods with tons of the stuff on. And I'm just going to fill in some of the blank areas. Probably not there. Let's put this at the back here. It's quite a big one. As I've discussed before, moss doesn't have roots, so simply laying it on top of the substrate is good enough. Let's have a bit more over here. Fill this part in. This also keeps the moisture in. Osmosis is great for lots of different purposes. I have tons of this, by the way. You may have noticed before in my hanging basket, that's what's covering the sides of the hanging basket. I've got that much of it, and I have it all around my pond, around my stream, everywhere. It's just amazing stuff, and it grows absolutely anywhere. Alright, let's pop that off. Didn't want that there. See, let's pop this here. That's a bit worse for where I like that, isn't it? And I'm going to put some other mosses in here. I've got some flat mosses which I'm going to cover this part. I'll show you in a second when I've got them in. Nice little flat mosses and bun mosses and all that I'm going to put in here. This will stop the crickets from burrowing and getting away from the mantids when I put them in here. Oh, that's a nice piece. Look at that piece. Lovely. I have to break that up, actually, it's too big. Yeah. Sweet. Just press it down into that substrate there like that. Give it a bit of a spritz. Not messy at all. So a bit more. A nice little bit of swan neck thyme moss. I'm going to pop in here. Pop that there like that. Give the different mosses. They have different colours. And what else have we got? This is also a thread moss, which is pretty awesome. Which is a slightly lighter colour. So I'm going to pop that here in this cracks, and probably in the cracks of the stones. See if we can get it to grow there like this, as it would. May even grow on the stones eventually, which is pretty good. I keep spritzing things. I have another piece of swan neck thyme moss here that I really want to use, but I suppose I can use a bit of it there. Yeah, I can squeeze that in there. That's got nice little, yeah, lovely, lovely. This is a really quick but not a bad looking little filming area, which I shall film when I've finished. And I think we'll have here it is. This is liverwort It's a really nice piece of liverwort, and this is soaked in clay. So I'm going to put that here, this little bit, push that in. It can look ugly till it glows back because the clay comes through. And I got a little spot there that I think will have some nice little moss here. Bit of moss there. All mosses you can buy online. I don't buy any of these online. These are all grown by me and originally found in the local woods or the local forest, and this is what we end up with. Give it all a nice good soaking again. As I say, I'm going to have to water this quite frequently, and we should have an area now that I can film in. Mantis down here, introduced dindins, and away you go. And it should look pretty reasonable. Oh, look at that bit of moss. And we'll stick that back in here. Nice. And, well, that will do.